Still, I find it very annoying that this would come out. Riding a teddy
Ophelia.
bear and a finger.
All it's interpreting is the black lines.
Yeah.
On fire and soil, I chose fire. It seemed the more contemporary of the options, the more sanitary. I could not bear the thought of resembly of such a ruins. Stitching arm to shoulder and
Come
femur to
on.
hip, charting a line of thread like traffic stilled on a motorway, making it all acceptable for tearful aunts and traumatized uncles flown in specially for the occasion, reduced to ash, mixed with water,
Okay.
make a phosphorescent paint for these rocks and ceilings.
This is a really existential game.
Kinda is, yeah.
Music's really nice.
That is true.
Especially Matt. It's really nice with the scenery. Kinda glad I sprung for the version with the soundtrack. Still don't know if I've gotten $9 worth out of it though yet. But then again, I mean, I feel I know this is the last section of the game. But at the same time, something like this would get old after longer than about an hour or two. But it's
But
really
you can explore how crazy this guy really is.
well. I really like the way it's laid out. It's different.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of game. It's this. I don't know. It feels like a.
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hand shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been traveling back in a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision of peddling off the antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and the whole new compounds would be summoned into the activity.
Light from heaven shone around him. Him. Yes, light from heaven shone around him. Anyway, it's. I don't know. I don't think I'd sit down and read this. Presenting it this way, it very easily could have just been a weird book, but presenting it this way lets you detach the scenery from the narration, so that you don't. That way, he can explain these strange abstract things without a narrative having to explain the physical scenery you're in.
True.
It's a unique storytelling.
From here I can see my
variant.
armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send you, if I'd ever made it back to the mainland, but instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out among the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting,
Significance.
I set the fleet
Okay.
to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
I can still not read it.
No, you can't really touch them. But like,
Burn him. Need to burn him.
this is all quite interesting. Except for the lag. Hello. On a sudden, A light from heaven shone all around him, and he fell to the ground. Okay. Okay.
What were those candles arranged around a bird's nest with 3 eggs in it?
Maybe.
This guy has issues. Wow.
The nest might have happened later. I highly doubt it. Well, I don't know. It's just weird. Well, earlier there was a tire. He might have just liked it in there and put candles up and decided to put them around the bird's nest instead of evicting the bird because it was there first.
It is strange.
I don't know. This is the same guy that folded up a whole bunch of letters to somebody and then into boats and then put them all in the water. How long has this poor sod been on this island?
Not long enough because he's still alive.
That's mean.
At the same time, that is how I feel about this guy. It's just not supposed to be mean, it's just...
A sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal. I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine and the calling from a great height. All my mind is a bypass.
Okay. He can't make up his mind whether he wants to run with the highway analogy or the kidney stone analogy.
So let's run with both, eh?
I begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I have been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper airplane leaves the cliff's edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Still think this guy's creepy.
The candle trail looks nice from up here.
Yeah,
It'll look nicer when I can move it and show you the whole thing. More words. And as he was proceeding, and I've got to move much closer before I can see any of that. Proceeding on his journey. As he was proceeding on his journey. That's all that's on that wall. Good.
Good.
Sentence fragment. Good.
How about we cut the recording at the next stop and turn the AC back on, because hot.
I feel like we're almost done.
Good.
Yeah, but I'm in that same boat.
And
was come near to Damascus. This sounds like scripture.
It does.
I don't know. And he was...
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized that he was on his own shoreline, as I am. Just as I am becoming the island, so he become his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did he eat, I think. This really does sound like... eat nor drink. Okay, yes. I'm noticing it between the recordings when the game is paused, but I can hear the people in the next room, and I'm hoping the game's enough to drown that out. Sorry, I'm choking on acid reflux. It's always beautiful and glorious. Really like the color palette of this game, or just the mingling soft blues and greens with these reds. It's really, really nice. It's really nice. I think my brain skipped with the game a little bit.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
Alright, this is part of it mentally breaking down, because it's like a combination of all the different diagrams we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Chain link. It came to pass that as I made my journey, I'm reading off of memory a little bit. And was far from nigh, whatever, something about Damascus. I just died again. Good.
Did you walk
I backed off the cliff trying to read. Something at noon. Suddenly, the shine from heaven. There shone a light from heaven, a great light round about me, and could not see for the
A gull perched on a spent
Glory.
body, sideways, whilst the sirens fell through the middle distance and the metal moaned in grief about us. I'm about this night in walking. Old bread and gull bones. Old Donnelly at the bar gripping his drink. Old Esther walking with our children. Old Paul as ever. Old Paul. He shakes and he shivers and he turns off his lights alone.
Okay. That light being led by the hand of them. I didn't know if it was going to be of thee, and I was going to wait to see what the next word was. The hand of the lag. That of them that were with me. I came into Damascus. The aerial, I guess. Friggin' radio tower. Oh, jeez, they're drawing this out.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air. White lines etched into these rocks.
Come on now, don't do this to me.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me, I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jacobson flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
I don't wanna die.
Oh, jeez.
You didn't see that coming?
I did, but he's falling a lot slower than I thought he would. Oh no, he's gonna mess up his drawing.
And touchdown in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Bird is the word.
One final delusion. What?
I don't even.
Come on. Do this during a freaking cutscene. It's beautiful in its own way.
Look, I just jumped off of something and flying.
This is probably the last hallucination of a dying man. This whole thing is probably the last hallucination of a dying man. I mean, I don't know where he got the giant handfuls of pills, but
I'll take that.
he got them from somewhere.
Yes. Absolutely.
Come back.
So is that it?
Guess so.
Um. Um.
You are out of words.
I don't know if it's just over or not.
Do you want it to be over?
I guess it's over. I guess it's over. I feel like I should run the credits on principle. Changed my mind.
Nope.
Alright, hang on people, I'll be back in a tick. So yeah, I checked real quick and it was the recording that was making it bog and stuff. But bottom line, this was a cool game. I don't know if it was worth $10. I paid $15 so that I get the soundtrack too, and I'd pay $5 for the soundtrack, but I think I'd pay closer to $7 for the game, but that's neither here nor there. This was a cool little thing. And I finished it in like 2 hours, so nice little side LP thing. More like a Let's Experience, though, than a Let's Play, because it wasn't really that much playing as much as it was walking around.
Lagging.
It's not the word I was gonna use, but it worked very nice when the freaking game menu actually lagged. I've got to do something about the recording software when I record for PC stuff. It doesn't affect recording from a console. I guess that's all the thought I had for that one. Anyway, that was Dear Esther. It was a thing that I found out through extra credits. I found out through about another really cool words. Why? I found out about a couple of other really cool games through there, so I would definitely recommend going and giving the games you've probably never tried
A shot.
Yeah, because there's some cool stuff in that, like a Starship bridge simulator that I fully intend on getting my friends together and playing. But that's for another time. I'll talk about it in a ramble or something. Until then, I want to turn my air conditioner back on, so we're done. Goodbye.